Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode. My name is Buki Adejobi. I am the career support lead here at Code Chrysalis. Welcome to another episode where we speak with alumni or graduates of the Immersive Bootcamp program. Today we have our graduate from about 4 years ago here with us to tell us a little bit about what life has been like for her since graduating the Immersive in 2020 and what she is up to now. Okay, Ari?
Well, I'm Ari. I was in the Immersive course. I graduated the Immersive course in 2020. I'm a founder of a startup called MenuX. It's a web app that enables fans to we're enhancing fan engagement at stadiums and events, and we're taking that data and providing it to the organizers to help them increase revenue, just enhance more fan engagement through data analytics.
Okay, cool. So I have a few more questions about the app, about your product, but we'll get to there later. To your Code Chrysalis experience. So you graduated in 2020. It's 4 years since the Immersive. So tell us a little bit about, what happened after the Immersive for you? Because it was a difficult time. The world just discovered COVID, and everyone's panicking.
That's right.
You're leaving a boot camp in Japan and thinking, what next?
That's right. Even to just start a little bit before that, I actually came to Japan for a job related to Tokyo Olympics. So I was doing sports marketing for Tokyo Olympics, and obviously it was affected massively with COVID. And so I was actually laid off in April of 2020. And that time, nobody was hiring. Obviously, everyone's kind of in shock, lockdown. And so I was feeling pretty stuck on, what to do next. And that's when I realized that, the tech industry was the only industry at the time that was still functioning. And so I wanted to find a way to pivot into tech from marketing. And that's when I found Code Chrysalis. And I jumped into the course in October, did the whole Immersive course. I graduated. It was still very much COVID. With my experience at Code Chrysalis, I was able to actually apply to, the tech industry. And the path I decided to take was, instead of just focusing specifically on software engineering, I actually used my background in marketing and advertising with the tech skill. And I was looking for product manager roles. So I was doing a job hunt a little bit for product manager roles, and that's how I landed TableCheck. So I became a product manager. It's a software for the F&B industry in Japan.
Okay. So was there a reason why you chose, or you really wanted to be in tech, or? Yeah, because you said, you felt the tech industry was basically the only thing operating at the time.
Yeah.
But you could have done anything in the tech industry. Why software development?
I think tech software industry really was the only thing that was functioning at the time. And I was a little desperate, I was desperate to try to find something and get on my feet. That's when remote jobs started kind of standing out, and I saw that possibility of being able to freelance from, work from anywhere. And I wanted to do that. I wanted to be able to, not have to be in an office from 9 to 5 and have a flexible lifestyle. And I saw that tech was the place where you could do that.
Okay. And then why did you choose, let me rephrase this. Was there a reason why you wanted to be a product manager instead of an engineer? Because I think when people graduate from the bootcamp, many people go straight into software engineering, but only a few consider product or product management as an option.
Yeah.
Was there a reason you chose that?
Yeah, I think, because I would have completely started new at this new industry, if I started as a software engineer, I would have had to start at a very junior level. And it was either, starting junior and finding my way up, or utilizing the skills and background I've had to kind of start a little bit to a mid-level. And I didn't want to not waste, but I figured that I could use my skills that I wanted to actually take advantage of what I had in the past and combine that skill. And I think that actually made me a stronger product manager because I had both of that experience, which is quite hard to have, I think.
Thinking back to your experience at CC, were there certain skills or experiences that you gained that were pivotal to your role at TableCheck?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think here you're specifically focused on actual coding skills, but what I noticed was a lot while there's we do all these pair programming or group projects, and especially there were these soft skill presentation skill practices, and I realized that people have different strengths in different places, and obviously you can see different strength coming out in these projects. And I realized, I think where I stood out the most was where I could, present or where I could communicate. I think I was able to find my own strengths within the group. I think.
How many people were in your cohort, if you remember?
So our group, we actually were English and Japanese group, but we ended up getting so close that we were actually combined by the end. So we had a pretty big group of, I want to say close to 15 maybe. Okay. I think, I want to say. But I think just everyone coming from such different backgrounds, everyone having such a coming from different industries, work histories, and we're all now for 3 months stuck in a room every single day, just working on these projects. And I think it really makes people get together, but it also makes you realize a lot of things about yourself that you didn't get to see in corporate.
What was the biggest learning for you?
I think the biggest learning for me was I don't think I will be a good software engineer, to be honest. I don't know if I can say that. I don't know if I can say that.
But people have different realizations, because having an idea of the path you want before the immersive and then taking the immersive in itself, they're two different things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's an immersive program. You're in it for 3 months.
Right.
It's very intense.
Right.
And so it's very easy in between to be can I actually do this?
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think people come in, with a goal of, I'm going to become a software engineer, but I don't think that has to be the ultimate goal. I think there's a lot of things you realize when you're just in a room every single day, just doing these projects, talking to the same people every day. And I think for me, I was able to branch out from that idea of a software engineer. And actually, I didn't even know about this path of product management until I came in. Just different roles within tech, or I didn't even realize how tech-minded people communicate. I was in a creative industry, so people are very, very different there. And so just even understanding how technical people communicate with each other, how they think, how they express themselves, and then navigating myself in that group. And I think it was really eye-opening, and I just found a different path that I thought would benefit me in my career.
What would you tell someone who is maybe not sure if this, exploring the bootcamp is the right choice for them?
Yeah.
But they're maybe on the edge. What would you tell them?
I would say,
based on your experience and where you are now.
Yeah, I would say if you are not sure, I would not recommend the immersive, because it is really tough. It actually is, and everyone reminds you before you join, it's going to be really tough, and it is So true. It's really tough. I actually like got sick after, like it's really hard. But I think if you are in a place, I would recommend it for people that is driven and trying to find something new from themselves and want to experience a challenge to find a different opportunity for themselves. I think it would be good. But I think if you're in a place of like, I don't know, I just want to try it out just to see if it works or not, I don't think you're going to last, to be honest. Yeah.
What kept you going?
Well, COVID, to be honest. Actually, like COVID, I didn't have a choice. I was either doing this or like going back out into the market where no one was hiring and everyone's on lockdown. So it might have been kind of a good time for me because there was no distraction, because we couldn't do anything else.
There's nothing to do afterwards.
There's nothing to do.
Yeah. There is no like fear of missing out because everyone's just at home.
Exactly. And I think I was really fortunate with my cohort. Everyone was amazing, and we bonded really well, and to this day we still talk and get to see each other time to time. And I think that the group, just like the community you're able to build was really nice.
Cool. Okay. So you were at Table Check. So you finished Immersive. You were at Table Check for almost 2 years, right? And then you went off to start your own business. So was that something you always wanted to do?
Yeah.
And how did you, what was the deciding factor for you?
Yeah. So I actually, before I started my company, there's actually another little hiccup I had.
Okay.
So in between, after Table Check, I actually got a job offer in the crypto industry.
Okay.
And so I quit my job. I was ready to start my new company. 2 weeks before the job started, the crypto market crashed. And so everyone was getting laid off, and I was part of that group where they just retracted my offer, 2 weeks before, and I had already quit my company. And so like, it was another hiccup. And I just realized that, I didn't want to have the control of doing this in my life. And I was like, okay, I just need to figure it out. And actually the way I started my company was almost accidental. It wasn't planned, but it was kind of this continuous hiccups, and I just like out of anxiety and just desperation, I met people and we were all just like, all right, let's just do it. And then it just kind of kept rolling. Okay. Yeah.
So you had a founding team.
I had actually started with one of my colleagues at Table Check.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And then took it.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a great story, but now he has now his own thing, and so we've in good terms. We're just now doing our own thing. So now I'm the sole founder, and it's been about 1.5 years.
Okay, yeah. I noticed that you since starting your company, you've participated in many accelerator programs, startup programs, done a lot of presentations. Because now I'm thinking back to your biggest not learnings, but one of the things that stood out for you during your time at Immersive, presentation skills, having to present. How do you feel, or did that play any role in the I guess the Accelerator programs or the programs you participate in? Because I imagine those you have to present, you have pitch presentations as well.
I think that, Code Chrysalis having these soft skills as part of the program was very unique. And, I don't think other programs offer that. And it's very easy, especially in a Japanese community, to become very kind of closed-minded and just like, this is what I'm doing. But I think this program really helps you open up your perspective and different opportunities you can have. I think public speaking has always been one of my strengths. Okay. But I just, did that help?
Because now you have a software startup essentially, right, in the tech space, and talking about tech to the layman is not something that's easy to do, and that's something I've personally learned in my time at CC. Because before, just like you, I was kind of in the creative space, corporate space, so I knew that, there's a back end of the computer screen. Yeah. But what that looked like, how to explain that to people was not something that I understood. Right. But then now you have to sell your product. Yeah. Right. And so how do you sell what the back end looks like without that experience? So I imagine that's probably something, that's just an assumption.
Yeah, I think it's part of a skill of a product manager too, because you're kind of sitting in between engineers and business. And so you have to be able to understand the technical part and be able to actually explain that to someone that is not technical. And also, vice versa, you have to take a sales business idea and be able to help technical people understand it. So I think product management has a lot of communication skills. It's a really important skill to have. I think.
Okay. And then, so in your space now, in the, from your observation in the Japan tech space, what are your thoughts? Because you've been in the tech space now for 4 years. Many things have changed in Japan, in the tech space in Japan over the last 4 years. What have been your observations?
I can only speak really about, let's see, I think, I can see the tech space becoming more and more diverse. I think it's more and more talented tech people are coming into Japan, I think. Or at least Japan is trying to open it up for the stronger talent. And I think Japan is realizing the significance of engineers and how, they can't really keep it as it has been in these Japanese companies of keeping them in, like a waterfall type of work style. I think it is definitely changing. It's slow, but it's definitely changing into this more agile style type of working. And I can only really speak more about, the startup scene, but I do see more talent coming in, more people interested in the Japan market. Definitely more startup programs, tech startup programs specifically are opening up and coming available here. And so I think Japan is becoming more and more just a hub for these tech companies to really come in, even for investors. So yeah, I mean, it's 4 years, so I can't really say the change is so much, but I can see that there's a lot more opportunities. I think, I think there will become more growing opportunities in Tokyo for tech people.
Yeah, okay. Well, the reason I asked that is because, one of CC's mission is to make Japan, tech, the tech, I would say hub, or maybe tech-centric again, right? And so having graduates like yourself, come through the program, get into the tech scene, working as either engineers, product managers, or finding their own company, is, I think, for us, feels like a contribution to doing that, or making Japan great again. In that way, it feels very American. Make Japan great again. But from looking into the future, what kind of contributions or things do you hope to make in the Japanese tech scene?
Personally, I think Japan is, from media, Hollywood, everyone thinks Japan is the most high-tech place in the world. But if you really come in, most people that are here realize how behind we are. After starting my company, I've really noticed I've personally really felt that gap of being way behind and just understanding technology, and I hope that, you know, even with my startup being a software company, it's kind of, you know, my idea is collecting data and helping them provide data to help enhance their sales. But a lot of the people that I talk to are like, well, we don't know what to do with the data, or we don't need the data. They don't find the importance of data because they don't know what to do with it.
Right.
And so it really starts with a point of like educating them. It's like, hey, like, let's stop using fax machines, because what do you do with, like, do you know?
Japan's the only country that I know of that still uses fax machines.
Exactly.
Like I remember, this is like a personal story where I think we're trying to get a document from an automotive dealer, and we suggested sending the document via email. I said, no, we don't do emails. Please send it via fax. And I'm thinking, who has a fax machine at home?
Exactly.
But yeah.
But that's the conversations that I've been having of like, you know, why it's actually better to step out of fax machines and go digital. What does it mean when you're able to actually have all that data digitally instead of stacks of paper? And it's baby steps, but it's like this education, slow and steady pace of educating people to kind of slowly move out of manual work into digital. And I hope that I'm able to help contribute to that through my startup to just improve digital transformation in general in Japan.
Cool, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. And I realize we've taken a lot of your time. Do you have any final words for potential students or potential companies watching this?
I think, you know, Code Chrysalis for me came at a really pivotal moment for my career. It was a time when it was difficult. It was, you know, a lot of people were the world was struggling, and we may not be in that place, but I think if you feel stuck in your career and you want to challenge yourself and you want to do something completely different, I don't think there's, you know, it's never too late to try to do something new. If you have the courage to actually get through it, I think if you have the will, you know, you can do anything. Yeah, there's a way. So I say if you want to do something new, like, go for it. This was, for me, was a jump start to something I never thought was possible. And I'm here now running a startup, and I think it would have never happened without Code Chrysalis. So I would recommend it to people looking for new challenges.
Cool. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Well, it's been a pleasure having you here. And with that, we will thank also the audience, so everyone, for listening to us, listening to me ramble again for the second time, but also for listening to Eri's wonderful story. I think your app, is it downloadable to the regular cost to, like? No,
it's a web app. It's a QR code web app. Yeah, at stadiums. I see.
Okay. Well, check out her website. You can find her on LinkedIn. If you're a company and would benefit from using her product or service, please do. You can reach out to Eri. But thank you very much, Eri. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will end it there.
Thank you.